Good morning, you crazy Pokemon people. All right, got an email. This is a special request. Got it from someone who's been watching my channel for quite a while, and it was, can GameStop really buy eBay? So let's dive into it. Now, before we get into it, I just have to have a couple disclaimers. I am not a financial advisor. I really don't know shit about much, but I can just look at the numbers and I can look at the facts and I can look at GameStop as a whole from years past. Let's start it off. $56 billion. That's right. That's with the B. Now, what I can tell you is GameStop did give an offer, kind of a non-formal type offer. It was like a press release of $56 billion to acquire eBay. That is probably more than eBay is worth, to be honest with you, but I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think eBay is going to be a $100 billion company here in probably the next 5 years. So where does GameStop, valued at around $20 billion, where does GameStop get that money? Well, the thing is GameStop has done this before. GameStop stock has been shorted before. Think about this. It would have been back in, I think, 2016, 2017, when GameStop stock went from about $20 a share, along with the AMC movie theater, to about $300 to $400 a share because it was being shorted. So a bunch of people made a lot of money off that. The people that ended up trying to hedge this, they lost their asses on it when they were buying stock because it plummeted back to $20. Which is about what GameStop stock is worth right now. Now, the acquisition for eBay, how this works out is that basically GameStop is like, hey, we got 20 to 22 billion in shares in revenue that our company is worth, okay? The key thing is shares, because I can sell as many shares of my IP as I want, and I can kind of set the price on them. So GameStop is setting the market price for themselves a little bit. Now, the things you have to consider as well is they have a note. The note is from TD Bank, I believe, and the note is for, and it's a highly, it's not like a signed note. It's like, hey, we vouch for them. So TD Bank says, yes, we would be able to give them basically double what their value is. So another 20 billion. So right there, you're going to be at about $40 billion. Well, there was an interview, I believe, on CNN or Global News or something, where they had the CEO of GameStop on there. I did post a video about it, I believe, a short, maybe a day or two ago. But this guy keeps beating around the bush with the question, because they keep saying, they're like, well, 20 billion here, 20 billion here. Let's do the math. That's 40. It's crazy. You want to buy it for 56. Where in the fuck does that other 16 billion come from? And the CEO for GameStop is like, I don't understand the question. It's a pretty freaking obvious question. I don't know how he doesn't understand it, but obviously, I don't know that this offer has legs, because I don't think he's truly trying to acquire eBay. I think this is all just a shot in the dark to see if something can get legs and start to run with it. I don't think they do not have the capital to acquire eBay. They would have to acquire or do something for basically 16 billion, which is almost a third more of what they need. That's a crazy number. So the CEO for GameStop, if he would have came out with some more numbers and more data that kind of backed up what he was saying, I would probably think that there's, 50-50 chance that they buy this. I would say the fact that eBay and GameStop come to a deal, I don't even know that would be 5% chance at this point. I wouldn't say it's laughable, because the offer is pretty good. But guess what? You know what? If you got a 1996 Toyota Corolla, I can offer you whatever I want for it. I have to be able to pay for it. So this is the whole Facebook marketplace thing, where people say, hey, is this still available? I'll give you double the value. Until they show up with money in hand, doesn't mean shit. So the fact that GameStop made this offer, it means nothing, because essentially what they have to back it up is TD Bank saying, hey, we think they're good for it. We'll back it up with 20 billion. And then GameStop saying, hey, we have stock plus capital that's valued at 20 to 22 billion. So I don't see it happening at all. And let's just say, what would happen if GameStop did buy eBay? What would be the consequences? Well, essentially, GameStop, they're going to have to up the prices. And you're probably thinking, how's eBay up the prices? You list your own shit. Their fees. I guarantee you, for sports cards, tradings, and collectibles, you would have a fee that right now anywhere from 13 to 15%. You would have a fee that's approaching the 20% mark. Okay, now the 20% on a $1 billion organization, so let's say they make $10 billion a year. If you increase that revenue by just the 5 extra percent, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of extra capital they're going to bring in. Okay, and by doing that, eBay would then be valued at a higher business commodity. Okay, now once they do that, does GameStop hold on to it or sell it? That'd be the question. If they raise it enough, it'd be like having a house, redoing part of it, and then taking a line of credit out against that house. So if GameStop does have this company at $56 billion, they make it so it's a $70 billion company. They got $70 billion to leverage if they want to go acquire other assets. They still have notes against them and liens against them, but they have a company that's evaluated at that. At what point do you think the government's going to step in? This is like a BlackRock type scenario, if you know much about BlackRock with real estate. But I think it'd be terrible for GameStop to do it. And it's because GameStop doesn't get stuff directly. Like, people shit on GameStop all the time. GameStop does not get stuff directly from Pokemon, okay? I just gotta let you know that. GameStop has a distro that actually gets them their stuff. And so the distro is still charging phenomenally large rates on a lot of their products. And so even the GameStop exclusives, which they're MSRP, but that doesn't mean distro's given to them for MSRP. GameStop, I don't think, runs these scalper prices because they necessarily are the worst person ever. I think they honestly get the stuff from distro at a higher price too, so they just jack it up as well. But that's my rant, guys. That's 7 minutes of GameStop. GameStop, I just don't think you're going to do it. You shut down so many stores across the country. And, I mean, we used to have one in our town. We used to have one 30 minutes away in another town and 30 minutes away in another town going west, and we had one that was south of us. But they're all gone. Every one of them. And every one of them filled up with, like, a Chinese restaurant or like a Game On Games. So, but hey guys, hope you guys enjoy the day. Have a great day, and remember, Pokepasoda, like and subscribe, and as always, catch them all.